So, hello there, wonderful all of YouTube. And I'm going to take these off again because we know how this already works. So, yeah, I was going to tell you about my awesome 2 days, but I'll get around to that eventually. I also was looking, and I incredibly suck at remembering these 30-day trans challenge questions. That's also because with many of them, I actually don't like typing the full response because there's actually a whole lot more to my response, but I don't exactly want to type a novel. So, I'm actually going to answer today's one for me, which is number 18. And number 18, which I'll title for the video, is How do you feel about the trans laws where you live? And this is amazingly relevant to all the crazy things that have been recently happening to me, so I'm going to let you know. In Virginia, some of the basic laws here that I've noticed, that I've been through, is when you have to get any basically legal documents being changed. I don't know. I think once you legally, like, if you legally get your gender changed, you could get married here, but you'd have to go through the complete legal process. Um, and I think that you'd have to be careful because of the birth certificate problem. So in Virginia, the laws just changed. So if you want to get your name changed, all you need is a court order. So I got my name changed, and it changes my name on my birth certificate. So actually, all I have to do is just pay 22 bucks, have them amend my birth certificate, and they can send me a copy. So that's on my list of things to do. So no problem, right? Name change, no problem. You fill out a piece of paper, and as long as there's no real problems with your past, they don't really care. You know what I'm saying? You get it back in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and you're all good. So not even that long. So that's not a problem. Change your name, not a big deal. Gender. If you're talking about DMV laws here, you have to actually send a letter to Richmond, the Richmond DMV, and then their medical board checks you out, which again is like one piece of paper, so they really just make sure everyone's all the paper, the numbers and everything checked out, and then they send you back a letter that approves you. You can change your gender marker as long as you have your court order form. You can change that on your DMV information. As for Social Security, you literally just bring up your letter. You have a separate letter, from your doctor saying that you're going through your transitioning stuff. They can change it in the program like that, and my gender should now legally be male if I look at my Social Security number somewhere. Um, and name change, again, just a court order form. So yeah, and then they issue out you a card like in about 5 to 7 days. They say 10, but really 5 to 7 days. And it's no problem. So Virginia's been changing. They've been trying to up the ante and up the game so that trans people feel more inclusive. So for the most part, like when you're talking about legal changes, it's actually a lot smoother. The only real problem is your birth certificate, and that is going to be the hardest thing to change. And if you are someone who's non-operative, you won't be able to get your birth certificate changed. And that is your gender. And that is because right now the current laws that I read for Virginia's gender changes that you have to have a bottom surgery of some sort. So I think hysterectomy is okay as a limit, but they prefer you have some sort of, to complete the process, so, and that's debatable. So, that's the hardest thing to get changed. But other than that, everything else is relatively easy to change. So, most of the laws here are actually adapting to be able to be more trans-friendly, trans-inclusive. There are a couple, actually numerous pride associations and trans help associations here that help, even though a lot of them are really big in Richmond, but then again, it's a major city. That if you have a problem, like if you have a problem within the workplace, you contact them and they can help you either come out to your boss, or if you're facing discrimination or you realize that you were denied a job and the only reason you would have been denied was because of that, and they can work something out, they can help. So Virginia's laws are actually changing to be more trans-friendly and trans-inclusive. So that's number 18 of the 30-day trans challenge. And I may end up doing a couple of video versions of these just because it's much easier. So yeah, and I'm going to let you all go. And at some point I will tell you about the crazy days I've had. But thanks very much, guys, gals, oh, everyone. Gotta get over that. Thanks very much, very much, very much. Thank you all. It's time for me to go to bed. So I will talk to everyone hopefully tomorrow, today, later on in the hours that is not 1 o'clock in the morning here. So you all have a wonderful night, morning, time. I'm rambling. Love you all. See you later.